Well, I mean, our programming's never really been dependent on the government aid, the stuff that they're talking about cutting. Which really, when you see these people voting a certain way or kind of around the world, and you would expect the policy to reflect that mood. But our programming isn't dependent on that. I mean, it's certainly something we think about. And we just have to reiterate to people the effectiveness of this type of work. And certainly in the water space, for every dollar that's invested, you get 8 back in terms of economic development, and it's really a smart thing to do. Plus, there's a national security angle to it. James Mattis himself said just a few years ago, if you're going to cut this kind of State Department stuff to the soft power type of aid, he goes, you're going to have to buy me more ammunition. So I think for people who really work in this, in the real world, they know that they're that this type of intervention and aid really is really an important component to our to the way we're running our government.
When I
to show visually the impact of
Well, it is outrageous that kids are dying. There's a child who dies every 90 seconds because of lack of access to clean water and sanitation, and that's totally preventable. And we solved it for ourselves 100 years ago here in the West. So I mean, imagine if we cured cancer tomorrow, and then in 100 years, kids were still dying of cancer. That's essentially the situation we're in. And so I do feel a sense of outrage, but I think because we're looking at the work Water.org has done, and this idea of water credit, this idea of microloans that are paying back at 99% and allowing the poorest of the poor to participate in their own solutions, and to see how effective that's been, and to watch it start to scale, gives me a lot of hope. And I really do feel like I can say with certainty that we can be the generation that ends this crisis. And so obviously it's upsetting that this is still happening, but to look at the real solutions that are out there and feel some hope, I think is a really important message to transmit to people.
So you can see
Cambodia?
where those donations. Also, you don't have to buy now. There's on the website. If you buy a lady a drink, they also sell them.
No, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's got an incredible wife, so that I can tell him from experience that that's the most important thing.
Stay with me and help with